All right, there we go. We're on air. This is May 13th, 2014. This is our weekly Tuesday Drupal Media Team Scrum. Just to give a quick update of what everyone is up to, and then just to kind of discuss things we need to work on, and just general updates or to-dos after kind of everyone's updates. Do we have a note taker in the hack pad for this Scrum? Willie, are you taking notes, or do we need to assign someone?
I already started taking notes, so I'm just sort of setting it up so I can do that as we go.
Okay, perfect. I've got it open as well in case I need to add anything. Great. All right. And I'll just fix the date on it. 13, there we go. That's why I couldn't find it. All right. So we have 6 of us today. Just to give my quick update and introduce myself, I'm Dave Reed. I missed last week, but I haven't had too much progress since last week was the last week of a client project for me. So it's pretty heads down and then travel this weekend. But I am looking forward to diving in a bit more between now and DrupalCon for media stuff. I need to contact the entity browser module maintainer. I've been talking a bit with him already about kind of reserving that namespace or having them switch to a new module which they seem to be open to, so we can have that namespace for Drupal 8. So I just need to respond back on that and get that process moving. I'm probably going to start porting the fallback formatter module to Drupal 8 that I had done for Drupal 7. So I'm going to be working on that leading up to DrupalCon, probably helping organize some sprint planning with all of you as we get closer. And then I also am going to be working on some DrupalMedia.org website stuff, and I'm sure we'll want to discuss that afterwards too. But I have a bit more time to, make sure everyone has the right access to it that we need. People that want to be involved, I unblock those people. We do have a Trello board for DrupalMedia.org. If anyone is interested in following or, submitting what we should have as features on the site. I would like to make it as automated as possible, just because it's something we should have. I don't know. I want to devote as little time as we can, if possible, but I also want to make it a good home for our efforts too. So I want to balance that. Everyone should. Willie asked in the chat if he's on the user stories board. I will add you on that one. Yep.
Yeah, just on the card for it, if you want.
Okay.
I could help to manage them if you want a bit. So. You keep going. I'll chime in after.
We can talk about it. I kind of want to make sure that we plan the content types appropriately before we actually start diving into them too, just to make sure it fits our need and they're simple.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
I didn't want to distract from things. So.
Got it. No problem. Okay, that's it for me. I don't have any specific blockers. I'll go in the list order that Willie has set up. Yanez? Do you have any updates?
Yeah. So last week we discussed that we should probably create and publish a roadmap for D8. That also relates to sprint planning that you mentioned, so it will be useful for that and also for general public to see what we're working on in general and which direction are we going to. So I worked on this. It's not finished yet, so I'm hoping to this evening. I hope that I will find an hour to finish that and publish it. I was thinking about publishing it as a wiki on groups, so we can all edit it and work on it. Spend some time thinking about our session, Dave. You probably seen my email. and we should probably have a call about that, or I don't know how you plan to.
Yeah, that we should get an outline together.
Yeah, yeah. We have basically 2 weeks, and I have
Yep.
quite a lot of traveling before that, so I will not be available some days.
Okay.
We can discuss this later in IRC and find time today that fits both. And no specific blockers except for the fact that I have quite a lot of things to do. Summer of Code started. We had an intro call with Chandan, who's working on WYSIWYG embed today. And I'm very excited about this project. Dave is also a mentor, mentoring another non-media-related project, so had to spend quite a lot of time with them. And this upcoming weekend, we have a camp here, and we have sprints also, like extended sprints, like Monday, Tuesday after camp. We have sprints, and I'm planning to work on the entity selector, entity browser a little bit. Thinking about it. Check that solution that I showed you some time ago that one of my colleagues made for Drupal 7, and that would be it, more or less.
Cool. Yeah, that was really great to have that Summer of Code intro call. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they can help out this summer. That'd be great.
Yeah, yeah. I think the most important part is that we guide them on a regular basis. So I think having short but effective scrums every week is crucial, because we have to be in contact with them, because otherwise, strange things can happen.
Yeah, and if it makes sense to invite, those Google Summer of Code students on this Scrum too, we can do that as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. If I forget, we can tell him on next Scrum.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you very much. Next up, we have Brant.
Hey, so I have been trying to sort of push along that CKEditor patch and testing it. So we're looking at hopefully getting that in this week. I think it's pretty much just up to people to actually go into that issue and test it as well. And hopefully it can get through. Devin's also been working on it, obviously been the one actually writing a lot of the code. And then I have allocated for today a full day of company-sponsored Drupal 8 work. So I have to do a couple of things that are a little bit managerial around my team that's working on Drupal 8 stuff, but other than that, I'm going to be looking at media initiative stuff for Drupal 8. So I found a few issues that I'm going to try and jump into. So I'm excited about that. Another thing I was just sort of wondering about is there's on Drupal.org there's a community initiatives page. It's just drupal.org/community initiatives. It's actually linked from the contributor links on everyone's dashboard, and I was wondering if there's a way that we can get some info about the media initiative in that on that page.
Yeah, we'll add a to-do in Trello for that. That would make sense.
Cool.
That's weird. I think they must have cleaned up this page a bit. Like there used to be kind of a free-for-all. Oh, I think it's a Drupal core initiatives.
Yeah. So there's like
that's where we used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're linked.
Those are sort of like almost like the official, or sort of sanctioned core initiatives. I don't know if media is media in that group or.
Well, so there's the Drupal core. So if you go to the link that I linked to, it actually lists Drupal core as a category, But then there are also Drupal.org improvements listed. There's documentation, and then user experience has a top-level link. Community learning has a top-level link. So I don't know if there is a way that we can maybe come up with another subcategory that media could fit into and still get linked to from this page.
Well, I know actually under the Drupal core initiative page, if you follow that link, there's always been like here's all the unofficial ones below. That's like JavaScript, performance, responsive design, that aren't necessarily official initiatives. But since we aren't necessarily core too, it might make a lot of sense just to be under community initiatives.
There's also apparently one for file management, file, entity, and core.
Yeah, that's the one that I've last touched, yeah.
Okay.
But we should take what we have from there and rework it into a revised one. And that kind of correlates with the updated roadmap for Drupal 8 as well. So we kind of need to join those efforts. So maybe it might be good instead of like eventually, yes, we want to have it as a wiki page on groups.drupal.org, but maybe it might be good to collaborate on that roadmap using like Hackpad or something beforehand too.
Yeah.
So we just kind of work on that.
Some of the stuff when we did some work with Karen Stevenson on Date, like just on the planning, we did in like a Hackpad. I think we did it in Google Docs there, but we sort of collaborated there to get it all nailed down, and then we sort of published the initial draft, I guess, on GDO. But maybe it makes sense to collaborate there first.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, sure.
We can finish discussing roadmap if we want to after. Anything else, Brent?
That's it for me.
All right. Next up, I have Devin Carlson.
Yeah, so I got a little bit done at the Drupal Camp Toronto sprint, but not as much as I had hoped since it was delayed a bit. There's been quite a bit of activity in the queue, in the media queue, just last night, so I was hoping to check that out. Unfortunately, the Commons roadmap has changed a little bit, so I haven't had as much time as I had hoped.
Okay.
So it looks like the bigger events will be when I'll be able to do more. I did push along that CK editor issue a little bit, as Brian was talking about, and that looks like it'll be good to go in shortly. But yeah, as for now, I think I'll focus on the remaining media issues. I was having trouble just duplicating some of them on a fresh install, and I think pretty much anything that would be considered a beta blocker should have some sort of test coverage, so I've been waiting for reproduction instructions there, and I think those have been posted, so hopefully I'll get to those by the end of the week. And that's it for me, no blockers anymore.
Great, okay, yeah. We should probably have a push for D7 media at Austin as well. That'd be good. Just to help nail down the CK editor issues and anything else in the queue. All right. Dragon, or if I'm not pronouncing that right, I'm sorry. But hi, I haven't seen you before. Do you mind introducing yourself a little bit? Or?
Hi. Yeah, I'm a front-end developer working with Drupal 5 years. I introduced myself last time.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm here just looking forward to some front-end tasks and maybe to help the designer with the user experience stuff and to help in some way. Cool.
Great to have you.
I didn't work last week on anything, so I'm basically waiting to see, I don't know, some mock-ups or wireframes ideas from the guy from Acquia.
Yeah, was Kevin on the last Scrum last week? Since I wasn't here.
Yes,
yeah.
the Kevin is name. I forgot.
Yeah, I can follow up with Kevin as well. See where he's at. He and I usually do a one-to-one every week, so I'll see where he's at this week and try and get an update from him.
Okay, I'll make sure that he's got an invite for the Scrums too.
Great.
I may not have missed that in this week, so I'll make sure he gets on the list. Okay, yeah, great to have you here. any help with user experience would be great. So yeah, we'll follow up with that. Next up, Brandon.
Yeah, I've been pushing our team to submit any other user stories that we might have. And then I'm starting to gauge some interest in who's going to Austin and who wants to sprint on media stuff. Just getting started there. One of the things I'd like to start working on is, if you guys think it's a good idea, getting a D8 version of the media dev profile going. And then we can use that maybe at DrupalCon Austin to help keep ourselves organized.
Possibly, yeah. I'm not sure what it would contain yet, but we could get it going, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, once stuff starts getting a little bit more solid.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of sprinting in Austin too, that reminds me there is a spreadsheet somewhere in Google Docs that I cannot find for some reason. DrupalCon sprints. Because I wanted to paste it. There we go. There it is. I will paste this in the chat here. If any of you are coming to DrupalCon Austin and you want to list yourself as going to the Drupal Media Sprint, there's a section down below, like at row 169, which is the Drupal Media Initiative. So you can say which days you want to be participating. Just write your name down there, although for some reason the spreadsheet appears kind of oddly for me right now, but that's a little bit weird. Oh well, okay. So just make sure to get yourself down on that list. Thank you, Brandon. Next I have Willie. Who might be on mute.
Sorry, can you guys hear me now?
Yep, you're good.
Hey, sorry guys, I just had a work call that came in. So could Dragon and Brandon possibly add their notes to the hackpad just for their update? Because I wasn't able to take notes on theirs. So I apologize for that.
No problem.
I just put the hackpad in the chat. So, and then just with regard to what I was working on, Pam and I had some back and forth on the user stories, and we're going to get just sort of coordinated or collaborating on that. And then I did work on the user stories as well myself too. I just sort of reviewed them all and added some comments and went through them. So I've got sort of a good inventory there, and then based on what we decide the action items of the plan are, I think we could just determine the plan and then roll through that, and I think I could start helping to consolidate some of the user stories and bring that together. And then the other item that's come up is that the LSD team that's helping sponsor some of the sprints at DrupalCon they have a number of sprinters that are coming together that are looking to help on media. So if we put together a bit of a roadmap, we could probably have them chip in if we assign some user stories to them. So I'm not sure if we could bring that together this week, but it might be a good opportunity to try and take advantage of.
Yeah, I think the challenge is just going to be it's going to be hard to work on those user stories until we actually have the infrastructure in place.
Yeah, like we got to do something like in Jira or something. We're probably not ready yet, right? So I can even just give them that feedback as well then.
Mm-hmm.
That we just need more time, and we'll see what we can do. So.
Okay.
That's about it for me in terms of updates.
Cool, and I will be there on, let's see, because I think the LSD sprints are going the 31st and the June 1st, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be there on Sunday,
Okay.
so I could help participate in that too.
Okay. Well, that'd be great. I'll just connect you guys and we can see where we go with it. So.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
I'll be there early for the LSD sprints. They were bringing me in for those, but I haven't heard anything from them since, so you could let me know, Willie, too, if there's any plans for that.
Cool. Yeah, share that if needed. Okay, for action items, to kind of summarize things to move forward this week, I definitely think we should start collaborating on a architecture roadmap to kind of a more detailed summary of what we discussed in New York City that we posted on GDO, but more of an architecture level, how do things fit together a bit, maybe with some nice diagrams and stuff. It'd be really good to collaborate that on Hackpad or something, rather than the GDO wiki, just because real-time editing is better for Hackpad, and then once we're ready, we can post it to GDO. So if we can get a Hackpad going for roadmap, that would be great.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're going to keep working on just modules and architecture a bit. I'm not too worried about planning too much for the Austin sprints right now, but definitely in the next 2 weeks, we'll be doing that. Let's see. What other action items should we have to do?
Do we want to set up a separate Hackpad for coming up with what we're going to present on the community initiatives Drupal.org book page? Or is that more kind of crossover?
Yeah, we should collaborate on that too. Yeah. Okay, we'll put that down.
Probably not as high a priority as the GDO page. It just seems like it's all another venue that people follow through. So
yeah,
whatever we can get as far as
it can kind of be just a pointer or something if we needed to, but at least it needs to have some nice text to entice them to follow a link.
Yeah,
if needed.
Sounds good.
Okay. And I'm going to kind of informally go around and get access to the Pantheon install to people who need it or want it, and start working with them for features too. So I will get that going. Anything else that we should cover before we adjourn?
I just wanted to mention I know for a few people from Australia that are interested in stuff. I know Bostek, Boris Gordon. He's from Previous Next, and he pinged me that he's interested in sprinting, and he was also in Prague. And I know it's impossible that we can find time when everyone will be able to attend this, but at least I don't know how other niches do it, but we should just make sure that we include these people. Because we don't want them to go away, I guess. That was just a random thought.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think once we get that
this
roadmap written up, it would make a really good blog post addition to hey, here's our roadmap. Here's the tasks we're going to be sprinting on, at DrupalCon, and we can kind of plan a little bit more detailed, actually get issues, filed for the things we want to do at DrupalCon, and then it's be well, here's the issues we want to work on. Here's the ones that are assigned. Here's the unassigned stuff. You can feel free to take a task and talk with us with how to accomplish it, kind of a thing. And that way people can kind of see what is available to work on, which I think would be a big task.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then I guess we just when we overlap with another person, we chat with them on RC and discuss and make sure that they're following stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of overlap throughout this effort, unfortunately, just because so many people are working on it. So, okay. And just to kind of plant an idea in people's heads for next time, take a look at the D8 rules website. It's kind of an interesting platform that they've kind of set up with crowdfunding and like sponsorships with a very lofty financial goal to support rules development. I'm not sure if this is something we can kind of maybe investigate us doing as well. I mean, I know that we've got to have some financial support somewhere for Drupal media, and I know that people would want to contribute to it, and maybe if we have this better plan in place and more publicized about what we're doing, which the D8 rules team seems to be doing very well, maybe that would be something for us to take a look at. So just check that out and just see if it's something that could apply, or how we could possibly approach that.
I will also meet actually me and Dragon, we will both meet the rules guys this weekend at our camp, and we can ask them questions. So if you're interested in something, drop us a line, and I will definitely have a chat with them, because I also saw this initiative, and I definitely think that we should learn from them.
Yeah, I was really surprised. Like they set a high goal for themselves, and they'll be able to work full time if they reach that goal and be funded. So, but I also know that they kind of have a smaller core team as well for that funding, so it's a little bit more interesting of a perspective. So I'm kind of intrigued at that aspect, like how could we do this with a larger team, kind of a thing. It feels like it gets messy. So just mull that over for next time. All right. Any last minute things?
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have any exact task for maybe what we can do, Yanis and me, during the sprint in Slovenia?
And
maybe
remind
even
me when that sprint is again.
Sprint is
this weekend.
Next weekend, 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even small tasks like set up issues in issue queue or something like that, creating blogs or anything what we can do during sprint.
Yeah, I think roadmap is definitely our first priority for getting that out. So helping with that or getting blog posts written up about it will be good. Helping with the drupalmedia.org site if we need to is kind of a lower priority, at least until we have the roadmap. But yeah, filing issues for features that we need in the modules that we have in GitHub would be good too. So I mean, we do have a fair amount of stuff, but we can get more detailed as we head in the weekend. Sure.
Okay. Basically, we don't have any plan what we need to work on that sprint. There is no exact tasks, so we need some help tools, and I would like to know which tools to set, what kind of things to set during that sprint if there is no any coding task. If you know what I mean, just to not lose time for watching something else.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense. I think we'll talk in IRC about how we'll get some tasks set up ahead of time then.
Okay.
With enough detail for if there's non-coding stuff. Yeah. We'll make sure we get those. All right. I think we'll call it since we're at a half hour. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye.